Hey friends, welcome to Moxie Gardens. I'm Mike Toomey, and today we're just going to take a quick little lap around the gardens, see what we got going on. I have one or two projects we might swing by, but ultimately I'm going to try to just stay on a clean path, get you through a quick little tour and update of what we've been doing here at Moxie Gardens and see where the day takes us. So let's just start here. Actually, let's just turn around and we'll look at everything from our patio deck here and see how the garden has transformed over the last couple months. Let's take a look. So what an absolutely gorgeous day we're having today. It's supposed to be in the 80s. It's really above normal around here right currently. And I won't complain because it actually feels like fall slash spring, if that makes sense. It's just so warm. It's so nice. You can come out here in a t-shirt. Even in the morning, we've started out with t-shirts and kind of did some yard work. We just flew back from California. We went out there for a week to do some driving around and see what the day took us. And we did a lot of things up there, but nothing compared to home. The colors and stuff. You fly over the mountains coming back from California here to Kansas, and it's just really you don't start getting trees until you start hitting to about where I live, maybe about an hour west of us, but typically it's all flatlands that way. So came back to some gorgeous colors. You can see the coleus down there and right by the moon gate and the different things that we've got going on. You could see the tiger's eye sumac back there. We'll get in closer. Of course, the red bud right here starting to turn, and then we've got the maple trees in the back. And we've got all kinds of things. Japanese maple here that's starting to turn color. You can see our water foliage is just turning, and all those blended in. If you start zooming in on some of it, maybe it's a little bit unattractive, but that's the way this season goes, right? And then there's absolutely gorgeous spots where the color just really works with the eye, and it's just a beautiful sight. So let's go down there and let's see what's going on. I think this is absolutely gorgeous spot, though. You can see back there our chicken coop back there, and if you're not familiar, feel free to go back. We made a chicken coop, or my wife calls it the chicken castle, and we kept a lot of the same designs throughout the garden in that. So do we have the chickens yet? Not yet. We'll talk about that when I get down there. So anyway, let's head down there and see what we got going on. Okay, I kind of want to just start here right at the front of the property. Obviously, you can see the street and sidewalk, so you kind of can familiarize yourself where we're standing. We don't do very many projects up here because there's not much to do up here. But you can see the stonework that we put in around this front landscape last year and put that in a video. That was fun and really makes this area pop. You can see here right behind the basketball goal and whatnot. Just turned out so beautiful. You can see the maple tree in the background in our neighbor's yard. Just doing a wonderful job of blending in with what we've got going on over here, especially with the greens and yellows. This here is a red bud. I put that in, I want to say like 3 years ago. Got it on clearance at a local nursery for like 125 bucks, and it was already like probably 6 maybe years old. So that was fun. It was heavy, definitely worth it. Underneath though, I'm getting to the point where I've got to make a decision. That dapple willow looks so terrible from the back, but on the front side looks really good. Obviously it's ready for fall, so it's starting to lose its color. But I do really like that because it's one of the first things that kind of starts to leaf out during fall, or pardon me, during spring. So whenever, it's dreary and we're going through those cold, windy days and it's not really ready to pop off, some of these things really add to the garden. So that's one of them. But you can see on the backside how thin and yucky it's looking, partially because of the canopy, and they really do thrive in the sun. So I picked up these planters. Oddly enough, we're in Nebraska Furniture Mart looking at a refrigerator. Our garage refrigerator went out, so we went in there just to see if we could find something else, and lo and behold, I ran into these, and we did not take a refrigerator home. So you know how that works. So anyway, this is sitting here. We are just kind of going to play with it right now, kind of filling it out. I've got to level it off if that's what I decide to do. Clean it up. Of course, I just mowed, so a lot of the leaves that were left over I've blown in there, so it might look messy coming through here, but honestly, it's a really good look. I think it will be really nice to have some color in here. These pots, like I said, got them at Nebraska Furniture Mart on a clearance deal. We just picked them up. We were going to buy them regardless, and ultimately came down to the fact that it was a discount. So we'll take those every single time. So we shall see. Hopefully I can add enough height in these planters, especially on the backside, to cover up some of that thin and frail looking foliage there. So moving right along, I think we got enough color with all the blues, yellows, oranges to just paint a picture here. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous look. You can see here as well, I got these planters that same day. A different style and a different look, different texture to them. So I've got some things growing in here. I've left this for about probably 2 months without cleaning this area out. So I've been trying to kind of work with it. You can see there's some things that need to come out of there. I need to add some stone and really level it off. But I think that might be a good look like that. Maybe pull the pots in a little closer. We'll see. But we're going to add some color there as well. But I think it'll turn out so well. The idea behind this is just to give some pops of color within all these greens and blues, and kind of give it something, you know, showy, I guess you would say. So when you come around this corner, let me come around here. This corner here. So when you come around, ultimately my idea was that I wanted to kind of take you into a different landscape, a different idea. This is where you get to use your imagination and really let things come together for you, because you start to go in and you can see the canopies that hang over and all the different colors, and then you walk through this arch gate. I just absolutely love it. My son and I put in a sprinkler system up here in the front yard where we just toured. That was the only spot that didn't have any sprinkler coverage, and he works for a landscaper and he's starting to get very knowledgeable with his buddies there. So he was able to come over here and we guided ourselves through it. Worked out perfect. So we've got some straightening up to do, but I think we'll just wait till till spring to kind of straighten up some things. If you've followed me for any length of time, you know that the neighbor moved out and she gave that to me. Yes, it's a hole inside, and why would I throw it away? I just put a planter in there of my choice. There was caladiums in. Probably remember that from other videos, but there were some caladiums in there. We went to the state of California last week, of course, and it was not good that I did not water that planter. I thought I'd done everything, but I did miss out on that one. So right here going through the arch, you can see the vine on there. Yes, that's your most hated vine here around this area. That's the trumpet vine. I'm using it to my advantage. Reason why is because it's plentiful throughout the neighborhoods and our city. And instead of just, you know, pulling it everywhere it goes, I used it to my advantage over this beautiful archway here that my brother made in Texas. So we're gonna add some different color. I'm not a fan of the black anymore. I think I'm gonna tone it down with some different colors, but you can walk right through that gate and for me, it just keeps getting better. We have a lot going on. Like I said, I'm gonna try to quickly do this so people can move about their day, but I don't want to lose any of you from over talking. But what a beautiful site we got. Remember those planters that we planted up? If not, you can go back into the earlier videos, and or maybe I'll throw it up top. If not, I don't put out very many videos, so feel free to go and jump in there and check out those planters. They've really overgrown. So when I put those in, I really wanted some color. If you remember, we have a lot of birch trees along this line, right? Because we get a lot of water in this space. So I planted these birch trees to, you know, help with the drainage and sucking up most of the moisture so that other plants have the opportunity to thrive. Well, lo and behold, now they take all the moisture. So if you're also thinking about adding some birch trees, just know you're probably going to run into a sticky mess trying to keep things underneath it watered, and the roots just go everywhere. I'm not disappointed at all. It's a live and learn type deal, but it ultimately gave me a quick solution to some shade and some privacy, because all the homes line on both sides of the house. We're the weird house right here where it just kind of sits in the middle of everybody's backyard. So as you're going through here, everything to the left and right of me are people's backyards. We're the only house that faces the south in this block, in these couple blocks. All right, but moving forward, when I put these planters in here, I wanted to really pop off with some color as well. So, but then when I added all this other color in here, guess what? When I added the potato vine, it ultimately took over the whole thing. So I will do something different. We've got a bunch of hydrangeas in there as well. We're going to be adding to a project. You guys wondered how I was going to winterize those. Those will be going in the garage here shortly, or maybe I'll just empty them and give it a cover. But look at this. What a wonderful treat this is, especially on such a gorgeous day. You can see everything that's going on. And if you really like mow lines, you can see all my mow lines right there. I'm obsessed with lines in the garden, in the grass. And so I think it looks beautiful right here. I did move this little bird bath here because I have a sneak peek to a project that's coming up. Yeah, a little bit of fun. You know me, a little bit of whimsy, a little bit of crazy. I ultimately like to take pieces of old projects and put them to use rather than go into the landfill. But if you look from right here, what a beautiful view. What a beautiful view. I absolutely love what we're doing here. This is just gorgeous. You can see the chicken coop that we put in back there. Like I said, we did not get chickens this year. We had some traveling that we were going to do, and we had a few other things. And so there was only going to be, probably 3 months since I brought that video to you guys that I was going to be able to get these chickens on a routine, especially with us. And then since we're going to start off with chicks, we just thought it'd be better to start in spring. So we're sticking to our plan on that. You can see the tiger's eye sumac right back here. If you're wondering what that bright yellow reddish color is, whoa, it's just beautiful. Just if you can add them to your garden, do so. I think they're wonderful. They're no fuss, easy to take care of, don't need water, don't need love at all. They thrive off of some neglect. So I think it's great. You can see here we put these planters in here along with the ones behind me at the same time. Instead, I added succulents to this, and I got some negative reviews on there that told me they would not make it. Well, look, they are absolutely gorgeous and thriving in here. Sent out blooms and everything. I'm not a big succulent person. I might be now because they were, again, no fuss, so simple to take care of. I think it added a lot of detail to this little gap right here before you get to my little lighting systems here. You can remember I put this in. This was another video. These were old trailer disc or tractor disc. That's what tills up the ground and allows the corn and milo and wheat to get into the ground. Then went to Hobby Lobby and picked out that Spanish moss and added it, and then the railroad ties. A couple things I will tell you. Yes, railroad ties are toxic. Especially if you're cutting them and whatnot. They're already toxic, but it's not good for your health. So do your research if you want to add those to your landscape, and know that you need to mask up and everything if you're going to be cutting through those. So take care of yourself when doing that. Somebody's ultimately going to come on here and tell me don't add it at all. That's your choice, and I accept that and respect it. Going through here, you can see the coleus and different hostas, whatnots down here. You can see the ajuga that just really performs so well, and it's kind of come over the sidewalk here. I almost want to go the other way just because I think I'm going to be in the sun, or I could turn here. I'm going to be in my shadow line here. Okay, so this is an Annabelle hydrangea. You can see how much it's really kind of wind down, and the color is all out of that, but it still adds to a beautiful background when you're just standing here, an overall view, right? When you just look here through the view. So I wanted to leave this here for you guys because this lined all of these poles all the way around, and it was a beautiful lighting. I'm going to do it again, hopefully before fall or before winter hits and I still have foliage, because I think it'll look great. But you can see those rebar that run through there. I had wires through those. So why did I leave that there? I wanted to share something with you because I did not know, and I learned that if you have squirrels are going to chew into wire. So I researched it and was like, why would they chew into wire? Because they chewed up every single wire that I had, like every 6 to 12 inches. And so I guess that's how they sharpen their teeth. And so in order to keep their teeth sharpened, they find wire. They love to chew on wire. guess what? It cost me about 70 bucks because all the wire that I had around there. And then if you recall, I had wire around each of these that were solar paneled, and they lit up, and it was gorgeous, right? Well, all of that is out now. So it is what it is. You live and learn. I'll have to figure out something. I don't know. There's got to be some type of deterrent or whatever, and I'll figure that out. I really love the idea of having lights on there, so I don't want them to win in this game of life against me. So I will be doing that. You can see here all the hostas are starting to color and really take different shape. These coleus just perform so well. I absolutely love them. Now, one thing I do wish I would do a better job of is the Chelsea chop on the sedum. That's sedum right there, and it gets so heavy. And plus, because I'm trying to keep the coleus and Annabelle hydrangeas alive, a lot of things get a lot of moisture, and obviously they don't care. The more neglect, the better. They prefer the least amount of care you can give it. No fertilizer, no water. So if you're still learning and you want to do something like that, feel free to jump in there and try those. That you cannot fail. You can see the lamb's ear. You remember when I put that in there? Little stones and rocks, pardon me, the driftwood that's under there turned out so well. And I think ultimately when you just stand here and you just kind of go around, now there's some white, red, and blue things in the background. That's my neighbors. They had a little Halloween party the other day. So if you're asking me what that is, that's not part of our garden. But how fun is this? And look at the mow lines. I'm so excited about mow lines. I love them. Look at how gorgeous everything's turning out. I contemplated doing this during the day, but my Kansas City Chiefs play here soon, so I'm going to try to get this in before they kick off. We just repeated this all the way around, and I think it's just very, very nice. I got a tripod here that's just kind of sitting here. I need to put that away, but we sometimes during the summer get just so hot we go through a drought, and all the Wigelia and the hydrangeas and whatnot back here sometimes just need a little drink just to kind of perk up. Even though they're no fuss, they sometimes have to be tended to, so that's what that's there for. Again, all these colors back here in the background are some more hydrangeas, and I think we're just gonna play with the sun just a little bit, so pardon me if we're looking at this and I have to cut it out a little bit. So what a great view, huh? The bench just kind of moves here and there. We just kind of plop it wherever just so we can sit and enjoy the yard. Right now it's currently in the sun, so we can warm up in the morning and drink our cup of joe, whatnot. And so if you're watching this for the first time, we're walking up to the chicken coop. This will be a fun little coop when it's all done. I'll go in here real quick. You can see that we started painting and I never got back to the painting. So this is painted, and then we painted the wire to kind of disappear. And that is a good trick, because if not, you can see the transition. See, some of it's painted, some of it's not. Show you the wisteria that just took over back here, and that's the ultimate goal. Remember, we're going to come off of here and brace this so we have a top, so any aerial predators and predators that like to climb will not be able to go up there. I've got a couple holes in here that will be running little resting posts on there. We're going to have nice little chickens to be able to kind of flop around and do what they want through here. I'm still trying to debate. I talked about getting some birds other than chickens. So I'm thinking about, I love pigeons and doves. So I'm thinking about adding a piece right here, an opening right here, so they can come in here and I can set this up in here. Yes, I currently have burlap bags as curtains for the other side. So this may ultimately end up being this spot right here may just be for all the accessories and whatnot that comes through here. So, and the tin roof, I love how it's just staggering stuff. So it just looks old. I don't like new. Those of you who know, have been watching me, I don't like new. And so we went with this red for this old barn look. I think it's fun. kept the tree in here, and we'll incorporate the ceiling or the rooftop here to work around that tree. So you had a little bit of, and then I got this little, again, just use more material throughout the garden to add to the overall look of the garden. Things to blend in and you know, be repetitive, so it looks like it's not just a one and done. And then this beautiful, beautiful piece. I just absolutely love this Hobbit door. I'm big into fairy tale, and not like, I like the movies and different things. I'm not, but I like the creation of it, creating it, and seeing where my imagination can take me. You can see all the beautiful hydrangeas and juga. Got some boxwoods in there, and then these little planters. Geez, I'm really butchering this video. And these little planters that we planted up in here, the window boxes, just, I think it's so much fun. We'll go in there another time. I do have a vine growing through here, and all I did for a trellis was I nailed some chicken wire, pardon me, some barbed wire through here, and then just kind of swirled it, just kind of took it to the top. So eventually in a year or two that I can continue to make that move throughout the garden where I want it to. So moving right along, you can see all the different beautiful things that are transitioning, but ultimately I can stop in any spot in this garden for the most part and just be happy with what we're doing. You can see the gazing balls. Okay, so I've never had gazing balls before. I just took a chance on them. You can see some of them. They're in this Pachysandra here. I'm thinking that I'm going to take them in for the winter because I don't know how they winterize. Do you typically take them in? Do you have gazing balls? These are a little bit heavier than gazing balls. They might have a different name for them, but it's ultimately the same thing. So I'll have to take a look at it. I don't know, but I think I'm going to take them in for the winter so I don't take any chances of them not going. This was a really fun project. This might be where, so there's a couple things that have captured people's imagination and started to kind of follow me. Again, I don't put out a lot of videos. That's not the point. I just wanted to share with you guys, especially if you're new to gardening, that you can do this. I'm not a landscaper or anything, right? Those of you who know, I just moved into a sticky situation with water issues in the backyard, and one thing led to another. So a lot of people followed me because of that moon gate alone. Some of you followed me because of the chicken coop behind me, and then some of you have the fantasy and like the fantasy world, and when we created this little hobbit home just out of supplies that were here in the garden, I think I captured a lot of viewers off of that. So we are going to continue this theme throughout the garden. Again, I apologize for the sun, but we still have our little door handle here. We haven't yet got the hinges. I haven't found the correct hinges, nor have I had time to go, and I like to go to antique stores, and I like to do that during the winter for the most part because I'm down and out in the yard. So we'll continue. You can see here one of my favorite perennials, Solomon seal. Sorry about the delay, neighbor came over, but the Solomon seal is one of my absolute favorite pieces of perennials. So someone asked me when I put in these ferns, oh, you're making a mistake because the ferns are going to take over. I got to tell you, not here in my climate, or not here in this garden, and for the most part, when you go throughout gardens and parks and stuff, people add them and they just basically stay where they're at. This we get so cold, we get into negative temperatures sometimes during the summer, the winter. So we'll be fine. We don't, to answer your question, we won't have any issues with those. I kind of wish they would take over, but then I know what it's like when you have something in your garden that takes over. It's not fun. So we're on the back side of that tiger eye sumac. What a glorious thing there. You can see here where we just continue to bring in this fairy tale throughout. This is ivory halo dogwood. It's seen the very end. It's ready to go to sleep, so it's very thin, but really, just if you don't have one of those and you're looking for something that can eat up the sun and is carefree, I'll tell you, get that. And that's what a lot of this garden is. And I'm going to transition some more in this garden to those ideas. Before I wanted everything. I wanted everything I could have and put in the garden, and if I seen it in somebody else's garden, I wanted it. And now I'm getting to the part of my life where I just want maintenance free. And you can tell, the caladium planter that I had up front, and I went on vacation and came back. I don't want to come back and be sad that I didn't take care of something. So I'm going to continue to add things into this garden that pay off with less work. And so there are some things right in here. I think I'm going to change out a lot of that. Well, quite a bit of that. We've got things in there that just don't do so well because the canopy of the garden is starting to really close in with all these trees. And so it's not getting the sun that it would like, or it's not getting the water that it would like because of the other things that are sucking up the moisture. So I'm going to redo that in spring and hopefully have that done before our garden tour in May. And if you haven't been up to date on that, there will be a garden tour in May, probably the last part of May. So if you're wanting to come join the garden, set aside a couple days to travel over this way. I'll give you more information as we get into spring, right? So look at this. We got a lot of fun going on here, a lot of fun colors. I think ultimately we're almost to where I want to be, right? So I think the further we go along, I'm just looking for spots that don't do so well. And let me stop right here. Beautiful view from right here. We overseeded, and this is a spot that still just, I don't know, every year there must be something with it that I can't keep water or grass in that spot. But I'm pretty much to where I want to be when it comes to the garden and its view. Now I'm just trying to find dark spots, for instance, spots like this, and how can I make that spots, pop off the screen, not only for you but for me as well. How can I make that area look really nice and not be so kind of dreary? So like there, I'll probably add some stones just to give me some color instead of using different plants and losing them because I didn't do it the correct way, or because it doesn't get enough sun, or it doesn't. It's hard to balance this out with when you have one season, you have the garden has a lot of sun in a certain spot, and then you have a season where a tree or a shrub that's beside it puts off a foot or two. Now I've spent the money and the time, resources to put something in that space that ultimately now has to be moved to a different part of the garden, and now it don't make sense, right? So I've got my odd numbered of shrubs or odd number of perennial in a certain spot, and now I got to find a spot for something that outgrew its space or something outgrew its, and so it just makes it kind of a mess. And then you got to go buy more of those, and then you find out, well, yours doesn't look as good as the new stuff. So again, that's what I'm talking about when I say it's a balance. And so I'm still trying to figure out that whole balance. If you recall this whole thing, just again, if you're just tuning in for the first time, I suggest or recommend that you perhaps go back and just kind of see how we got to this. I'm telling you, we had no trees, no fencing, no landscape, and we've lived on this property 10 years now, but we didn't start in the garden till our second year because I wasn't into that type of stuff. I was into it, but I didn't know how to do it. And then one thing led to another, and then I found a few YouTubers when I started watching it, and of course they're ultimately probably the people that you watch and fell in love with what they were doing in their gardens. And so I just took a chance, and this is where we're at. And all of it is a lot of hard work, obviously, but it pays off, and it's a lot of fun. And I don't look at it all the time as hard work. Just getting out there and taking the chance, and you'll lose some, and you're going to be successful in other areas. So especially like when I talk about success, finding out that those rodents ate all my wire, chewed all those wires, that's so bad. So if you have an idea, or if you have something that's worked for you or for others let me know what your trick is. Is there some type of spice or something that we can put on those wires? Can I wipe it down with something? A lot of money was spent and lost on those. But anyways, you can see what I can see, and I'm loving it. I'm hoping you're loving it. So if you first timer, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and join me on my journey. I'm not a YouTuber that puts out a lot of things. I'm just going to share with you here and there. Springtime, I have a lot more time, so I can give you a lot of content early until about July, and then after about July, it's hit and miss whether I can come to you. But here we are in October, and I'm able to come to you. So thank you guys all very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching. Take care. We'll see you the next time. Bye bye now.